Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on whereabouts you are in the world. I hope you're having a phenomenal day so far, and welcome to today's stream, where we're kicking off with a continuation of our Empire Total War campaign as France. So we've fought through a significant campaign so far. This is part 8. And I don't know whether this is actually going to be our final part. We've made some decent gains in the last few parts. But just to give you an idea as to where we are. So we'll start off, I suppose actually starting off in Europe will make sense. We were declared on by the British Empire, so managed to wipe them out. We were declared on by the Netherlands, so managed to wipe them out. We were declared on by Austria. They're now our protectorate. We were declared on by Prussia, and they no longer exist. Basically, every single one of our wars so far has been defensive, and we've been very much education focused. You can see from our research trees, we have universities that actually don't have anything to do at the moment. We've not exactly played this perfectly. We could have moved our tech a little bit faster if we tried a little bit harder on a few areas. I wasn't very good at keeping some of our buildings up to date is the real takeaway. We're currently positioning, or we positioned ourselves for a war with the United States. The United States only exists in this game because we wiped out Great Britain, so 13 colonies became the United States. We have now taken over all of that. We got our objective as well. For Louisiana to join us. Unfortunately, it was after Louisiana was destroyed by the Maratha Confederacy. The only people that exist in the Americas now are either our own territory, the Spanish, and the Plains Nations. Everyone else we've successfully managed to get out. In India, after our war, I think last session, we now have India pretty much as a whole. And to see where we are against our victory conditions, we're holding 67 regions out of the 30 that were required for victory. But we've got 13 areas that we haven't yet captured that we could probably capture pretty much at any point of our choosing at this point. So the Ottoman Empire have Egypt. They've been a pretty good ally of ours. Then we've got to capture these regions here. So I think that's Savoy. Yep, Savoy, and Genoa. Our trade has been built pretty well. That's what's allowed us to have this economy. Our trade income is 63,000. Our tax income is now overtaking our trade income as we're starting to spend significantly on improvements in our territory. And our income per turn is now at 28,927. We're going to have some problems in Europe because people are very upset with us. We need to move some armies around to defend the south of France from a potential Spanish invasion. We have an army on the border here that's really just to keep an eye on what's happening with Savoy. We could probably one turn wipe out Savoy, which would remove them from several trade theatres. And our trade theatres, yes, we don't quite control everywhere. We have a majority in most theatres, where the majority of the trade theatre is us. So the problem that we have is that we're going to have to one turn any big battles we do. I think we could still improve our trade income a little bit more in terms of the overall quantities coming through. We took a significant hit here, but we could maybe in a few turns get that back on track. Now we have so many commercial ports available. So yeah, that's where we were. Good morning, Les and Harry over on Twitch. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And yeah, let's end our turn in 1765. You can see we were just moving some armies forward. I definitely remember where all our armies were going. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge over the River Severn to sell you that I definitely own. Oh, and at some point, a doorbell's going to ring and I'm going to have to run away. So far so good, says Harry. Built a new Biovore. Second of 3, nice.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed.
So we're going to go for a huge amount of economic development.
A port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
And I'm going to actually just start focusing on one region a turn. That's Eastport, so we'll have a harbour there soon. How are you generally feeling about life? This is the thing, because I don't go and watch what I was doing last turn. I will have forgotten lots of things that I was definitely going to do. Like a lot of the work that I need to do in India. So our income's going up 30,000. I'm kind of intrigued as to what we can do for our income if we just try and boost economy for a little bit. I'm going to do that for, say, 10 turns. I wonder how superpowered we can make our own economy. Our biggest single risk is, which is one of the risks with this game in general, is that we actually only need to lose, I think, one territory for us to lose the game as a whole. We just need to lose France. So if you were attacking us, you just try and sneak ships in so you can one turn attack Paris.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here.
I'm only pulling him out so he's got something to do.
A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
It's a bit random, but I'm just going through and trying to focus on anything that's infrastructure or economy based. Just for a few turns. Oh, and I should have put Eastport in. Hang on. And we got mass production. So if I remove one of those, maybe the farm? Where was the farm? Oh, one sec. Right, sorry about that. I'll delay the mine to let us set up the port. Which was... there? No. I'm not lost, you're lost. That one. So that's going to be a trade port. We'll do that one for growth. Morning, Oscar. How are you this morning? Lovely to have you here on YouTube. So I had to run and go and get the shopping that was just delivered. So... snacks, indeed. This economic boosting wasn't my original plan, but I'm kind of intrigued as to how far we can take this.
Building plantations here will
So at 32.5
improving income through
per... How are they feeling about life? They're pretty happy in general. So I'm only checking for happiness at the moment, just as an indicator, because as we move some of these up, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I think our infrastructure in India is in pretty good shape, but let's see if we can get any more roads anywhere upgraded. Oh, there was one there. This does add the metalled roads as 5 per town, sorry, per turn to town wealth in the region, as well as being actually important for us moving armies around. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's another one there. There we go. All right, we'll do the same next turn as well, and I'll just upgrade a couple of random things here. So 32,540. Laz in Twitch says just had some toasted muffins with butter and jam. That is an elite tier snack.
There is unused land suitable for plantations in this region. Building plantations here will increase your nation's export capacity, improving income through international trade.
I'm not even sure how we're going to manage to use all these rakes that we're spawning. I suppose we can move them up to go and have a wee look at our neighbours. So it's now 27,000, so we've taken a huge hit somewhere. There you go. That'll do. And considering I think 2/3 of the way through our last stream, we were almost broke because the cost of maintaining our army and raising armies, we were going bankrupt. Ooh. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Prussia have just taken Istanbul.
There is unused land suitable for farming in this region. Building farms here will help the population to grow over time and produce trade income.
Hey, we can build L'Arc de Triomphe. Let's get that done. That was a very France-focused turn there. Let's also upgrade the infantry there. Maybe next time we focus on tea? Ah, so that... okay. There was... We've not been doing any research return. So... Oleon can work on that. So machine rifling is the only thing that was unavailable, and that gets our riflemen. I thought there would be more underdeveloped areas here, but let's... There you go. We'll spend our money on getting the army back to full strength there. That was the great conquering Grande Armée.
Oh, there are naturally occurring resources in this region that are not currently being exploited. Development in these areas now will increase your nation's trade income later.
Right. Try that focus on tea. So I'm going to go across this whole region, and any tea plantations we're going to spend the money on. The tea plantations, by the way, cost us an absolute fortune because we have abolished slavery. So all the plantation upgrades cost a lot, as they should. Right. Out of money. We're up to 36,000 estimated. So these are quite quick turns. We're basically not doing very much other than building our economy. It's interesting to see the Ottoman Empire, who was so powerful, losing to Prussia, losing to Austria, who I'd smashed their armies. Austria were left with nothing after they were left with a single territory, and they've managed to regrow and take Istanbul, which is amazing and terrifying.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select
We're going to continue on with our tea thing, because at the moment tea is worth
population grow.
11 per, and we've got 390 chests.
A naval port allows the construction of warships.
I'd like to then do a round of maybe mining, because that just brings a net benefit as well, right? Isn't there a tea plantation here somewhere? All right, let's do mining next. There's sugar there as well. This might cause a few rebellions. Because the industrialization causes unhappiness. Let's see. There's another mine there. And I think... feeling better. I am indeed, Cody. Happy birthday. Sorry, I was a bit subdued at the end of the last stream. So, I think that was... That's as much as I can do for mining in a turn. So I've got 33,000, 76,000 of tax income. Time to reconquer Constantinople, says Grim. Well. We could. They're our protectorate. I was thinking about seeing if we could just economically win this. Because militarily we can win in a single turn now, or maybe 3 turns of army positioning, say. But we have not been the aggressors in very many, if any, of our wars.
In this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
$27,000. Like, with our income level as high as it is, we're kind of a 1 turn, 2 turns from being able to kind of do most things.
Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
Because we're just getting to throw unreal amounts of money into our economy at the moment. Yeah, we'll raise up a general. 78,000 in taxes. Good birthday, thanks. Glad you could join us in Mornhow. Felt bad for you when you had to leave. Oh, yeah, no, it's just some bad news hit a little harder than I expected, which was I think it's you watch streams and join in our community games to kind of be entertained and have fun. And I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know why the news hit me more than I thought it would do, but it did. So all good today, just needed a wee bit of time. I think I'm going to do a navy build.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
I wonder whether I'm going to end up collapsing the economy a little here. Through massive oversupply of goods. Oh, thank you, Cody. It is much appreciated. Bad words. I may have crashed the game. Sorry, that's on me. I tabbed. One moment. Let's see if I can sort this out. I know. It says it's still working. I'll give it another minute or so, and then we'll and end the task. Come on. Yeah, it's going to be faster just ending it. Let's do this. Sorry, chat. Did you tell me you booked a hotel in Rotterdam when TwitchCon's happening? You didn't. That's awesome. Did it cost a small fortune? Not too bad, but you didn't pay. You make your trip out of it driving there. You don't have TC tickets. Nice though, like to go on a wee adventure. That's awesome.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port...
So I'm just using this a fast way of going through to see any of these that haven't been fully upgraded. We're nearly at 80,000. They are pretty happy. So one of the things we haven't tried to do in any of these is we haven't tried to replace any local religions. Other than, that's not entirely true. We... 1,006 just from that one place. We did work on replacing... or on spreading Catholicism through parts of America. But honestly, that was a bit of a half-hearted effort on our part. Yeah, a bit of a spread. Our trade income is now significantly lower. We're at 80,000 on tax income alone. You're sure your trip to Rotterdam will be fun if nothing else you get to explore new places? Absolutely. I've been away both for the last weekends, not anywhere particularly distant, but went to Pontypridd weekend before last. And last weekend went to Cheltenham for an adventure out to go do some stuff.
A trade port provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
And trying to keep an eye on our the economy of France, because if the French become too unhappy, they riot. And raise revolution, which is very expensive. You have to share some photos when you're there, Cody, because I've actually been... I think I've been to Rotterdam a couple of times. I've been through Rotterdam quite a few times. But I've only ever been for work, so I've never actually got to go and experience the city and do any of the touristy stuff.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
Hey, L'Arc de Triomphe has been built. It looks like Spain are eyeing the Ottoman Empire as well. That's interesting. I'm wondering what the Austrians are doing over there, because they've got two armies that are jumping in and then pulling away again.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
Other economic buildings do we have? Europe we can push through. Wonder if we can persuade the Ottomans to hand over Egypt. using diplomatic dealings. They're very friendly with us. But they're in the middle of a war. Haha! They did. Well, that would have been a lot easier. There's not been any war. There's not been a huge amount of religious unrest. Egypt is just ours, and we can invest in it next turn. Although we probably do want to build ourselves an army for that area so it lets us hold it. Maybe that's the end of May. Well. So I think our biggest threat at the moment is actually Poland, Lithuania. Or Spain.
There is unused land suitable for plantations in this region. Building plantations here will increase your nation's export capacity, improving income through international trade.
Well, we've just done an enormous investment in Egypt. How are armies looking? I think anywhere that we have an army, we are keeping. We should probably do the work to ensure they're prepared for war. Is there any economic benefit? I think there's a happiness benefit, isn't there? Yes, to improve fortifications. Our tax income's now at 83,000. Much as I would love to, Cody, I'm in the midst, and actually my morning meeting at the end of today's stream, of getting set up with a new business. So
There is a port
We'll
in
see
this
how that
region
goes.
that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval
Too
port
much work.
allows the construction.
I mean, yes. Where's that construction report? Okay. Have we actually invested anything in the Northwest Territories? I didn't think so. That's... Oh, we've done some investment. There's just not much there. Okay. So we're recruiting colonial dragoons. It's actually quite an advantage. Egypt allows us to produce colonial dragoons, which provide a policing bonus, which is, yeah, mad. That's... I forgot we had a Grand Army here as well. Let's spend a little bit of money on our army. I think all that tea must have come online by now. What's it done to the trade price? Which I think was at 11 before. It's at 10 now. Oof. Oh, bad words. We had a revolution I didn't notice. That was silly.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade.
I wasn't paying any attention to where that revolution was. Chat, did any of you notice? It is possible that when you have an empire that is so vast that you don't know where a revolution is happening, your empire may be too vast. I keep thinking I'm going to do a navy turn.
There is unused land suitable for plantations in this region. Building plantations here will increase your nation's export capacity, improving income through international trade. Right. That's interesting. I thought we would have more trade coming out of here, but there's just none. Everyone seems broadly happy with our government. What's happened? Let's just check. We've got an... Oh, for goodness sake. You're just not very good at your job. So we've promoted you. Hang on. What's our predicted income right now? So our predicted income is 49,000. If I move this minister from the head of our government to the head of the treasury, we'll see how well that goes. We're at 50,000, it reckons now.
don't think we need to have quite that size of garrison in Malta.
Oui, Miller. À gauche. Marchez. Ordre du navire, bien reçu. Ordre du navire. Solidement arrimé, capitaine.
Okay.
En position. Votre Majesté, marchez.
Combine those two armies. We're probably a bit short on troops.
Préparez-vous.
Got a couple of Indiamen that should probably, well, head in an India-like direction. Morning, Braxius. How are you this morning? And I should really check our victory conditions because I don't want to accidentally lose this.
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
Well, that's interesting. The nation of Persia has been destroyed by Russia. Right, we try getting some navy up again. And does that mean any slots are now available?
Direction, capitaine. Oui, monsieur. Prêt. Préparez-vous.
Right, let's do a naval build-up turn. So we're going to do... every port that can manufacture Indiaman. It's interesting that Russia have pushed this far up. Also, I haven't checked our tax policy for a little while either. Let's also check those policies. India, everyone's paying taxes. Bavaria, that's because of the university, so is Austria. But everyone's paying taxes. America. Could do with more doing something about happiness in Upper Louisiana. So what we can maybe do for that. Well, let's finish our thing on taxes. What I may be able to do for that is just move some additional repressing troops in. Holy moly, that income is ridiculous. I'm making a turn what I normally do in the first 25 turns. Oh yeah, I was building a navy. Didn't get distracted there at all. No, not me. I'm a pro gamer. I can remember the thing I was going to do a minute ago. Hey Masani, how are you? Poetic Menace on YouTube. Sorry for the delay in responding. Yes, this is live. How's your day going?
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
I don't think I care about getting the true religion conversion over here. Because there's already quite advanced buildings for the existing religion in the area. It doesn't seem to make a lot of difference to me. The army we brought over to win the Americas was from the East India Company. Right, what I'm going to do is hire some more dragoons here. And then do another round of naval recruitment on this coast. And there was some on the southern coast as well. We missed out, didn't we? Spending a little more on some of our trade ports. And then back in France, Let's recruit some of the elite units that we've got access to now. We literally don't have anything else we can construct there as far as I can see. And how's Egypt going? Get some naval recruitment going on there as well. And actually, we can build 2 more Indian men over this side of the world as well. So we're just going to flood the remaining trade ports we've got. Interesting. They want Serbia in exchange for Bosnia. No. I think we're going to be fighting a war against our own protectorate there.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
The religious unrest just isn't big enough for me to worry about, I don't think. Okay, so we will have recruited a lot of units now.
Sortez la voile. Des ordres, oui, monsieur. Solidement arrimé, capitaine. À vos ordres. Des ordres.
I'm trying to balance doing all of the trade ports with making sure we don't forget about any of these areas that we'd spent money on upgrading. Also that we don't forget Egypt. Because if another war is coming that's not planned by us. Yeah, that repression there is doing a-okay. 169 trade income and tax income. Nice. It's actually putting our naval trade at risk a bit, because what you shouldn't do is leave your ports empty. So if you don't have an army there, leaving a naval unit in there will mean that even if someone blockades you, that they're not going to damage the port facilities themselves. And not doing that means they will. $352 million inhabitants, indeed. How are you enjoying Nordhold, by the way, Braxius?
There is a port in this region that has not yet been developed. Select the type of port to construct here. A fishing port will help your population grow. A trade port will provide an income from overseas trade. A naval port allows the construction of warships.
One of our armies moved up. No, I hadn't quite got that far.
Solidement arrimé, capitaine. Oui, monsieur. À vos ordres.
So these fleets we're sending out at the moment are really all about just topping up all of the areas that we had fleets in before. These are all top tier buildings now. So we'll just go up the coast here. So I don't think we actually invested anything here in the south. So what's the navy there? That navy is offensive. The rest of these, though, we were...
Oui, milord. Pensez des ordres. Oui, milord.
all more of these together.
Ordre du navire, capitaine.
These were just the cheapest ships we could afford at the time, a lot of them in these American ports, because we just needed a ship to transport an army, and if we got caught, we were going to lose the army anyway, so it made sense just to use whatever was cheapest. So we did increase our army in France itself and build a few trade ships. Lovely to have you here.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to
Fleet arriving.
the true religion to the masses.
Officier sur le pont. Oui.
That's every port in India being upgraded.
Bien arrivé. Oui, monsieur. Ordre du navire.
They'll be round there next turn.
Oui, votre majesté. Ordre du navire, bien sûr. Fleurisse. Prêt.
The decline and fall of the Roman Empire. The eminent historian and sometime member of Parliament, Edward Gibbon, has published The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, truly his magnum opus and the fruit of 7 long years of work. The book, the first of 6 planned volumes, deals with the slow disintegration of the Roman Empire from 180 AD to 1590 AD. Having sold out already, the success of the first volume can be put partly down to Gibbon's very readable style of writing but also his arguments are always supported by solid reference to primary sources. Notes indicate his own thought process and always an objective eye. Gibbon paints a picture of an empire which grew self-absorbed and self-indulgent over time. Over the course of 1500 years. Rome, he argues, was wallowed in the material wealth secured by their forebears and was comforted by a salvation offered by their newfound Christianity and the illusory strength of the hired barbarian mercenaries in the guarding of its borders. Some readers are struck by the parallels between Gibbon's depiction of the decline of the seemingly all-powerful Roman Empire and the similarities with the ebb and flow of the world in these supposed enlightened times. Hey, Sponge, how are you? Lovely to have you here. We are, you joined us as we're just deciding what to do about winning. And we've got a new army on the move. A new modern army. Oh, you know what? Let's build an artillery corps just for giggles, because we can. Might build them next turn actually, because we've got loads of cash. Naval recruitment, Navy. Just the ability in 2 or 3 turns to be able to field brand new fleets. Ridiculous. All right, well, here's a decision point for you, chat. Are we going to war with Russia? Or do we use this as an excuse to take the land that Russia wants? Let's break the alliance. I have an idea.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Oui, Votre Majesté. Oui, Milord. Oui, monsieur.
Right, let's have a look at this war in Europe first. If we can take Istanbul and Anatolia.
À vos ordres. Milan. Embarquement.
I'm going to get one of our Grand Armées to head for Ankara. We're going to need to pull a couple of new armies out of our behinds. It's not going to make a lot of difference if we get attacked there, but right.
Nous arrivons, capitaine. En attente de vos ordres.
Got some house infantry. Actually, that's the other place we could pull some armies from. What can we recruit over here? Garde du Corps. I think just... But we got a new general recruited as well. So we should be able to shuttle troops back and forth there. That's... And just in case we're going to go to war with Russia properly, we'll get ourselves ready to attack from the north as well. Because if we go to war with Russia, we need to wipe them. There can't be half measures. I think I'm going to go to war with Austria if I can get troops over to that area fast enough. But there's an opportunity without declaring war to take territory next to them first. And using Egypt to produce troops to pacify the locals. Because the only reason we've got an alliance with Austria is because, and the only reason they've got to exist for so long is because we defeated them, they became our protectorate. And Russia do have a lot of ships all around the world, but because we've built up our tax income so much, our trade income is not quite so vulnerable.
The majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
So our tax income's now 105,000.
Arrivez! Ordre du navire, capitaine! Oui, monsieur.
We never did solve the problem of Upper Louisiana. Let's do that now.
Ordre du navire, bien reçu. Oui, monsieur. Des ordres?
What Russia does have going for it is a rather large fleet. Right, let's resupply our armies. Structure.
Sortez la voile! Ordre du navire, capitaine! Oui, oui, monsieur. Préparez-vous! Marchez! Tous à bord! Monsieur! En Bien avant! arrivé!
Gonna bring one of our armies back into Europe. Because I have a feeling this could go south. Yeah, the fastest possible.
Oui, monsieur. Voile sortie! Prêt! Oui, monsieur. Ordre du navire? Oui, monsieur. Oui, oui, monsieur. Tous à vos postes! Tous à vos postes!
Made a mistake there. But I think we still have a tech advantage over the Russian army at the moment. I think.
You are about to launch an attack on a trusted ally. Once it becomes common knowledge that your word means...
Oh, they took it back. Okay.
It's difficult to make deals, keep existing alliances, or forge new ones.
That's why we suddenly stopped. In that case, let's moor ourselves there.
Flotte prête. Vos ordres, capitaine. Préparez-vous. Oui, monsieur. Oui, votre majesté. Prêt pour l'action. Flotte prête. C'est un navire, monsieur. Vos ordres, capitaine.
We appear to be stuck on top of each other there. I'm trying to... Oh. Trying to make sure we've got ourselves to a position that we are as financially and militarily secure as we can be, just in case this all goes a bit sideways. It would take us a couple of turns to get to Persia through there, but if we upgrade a couple of key cities here, we should be able to start bringing loads of troops to bear. We actually build a whole army out of elite troops. We have to try and find all of our armies across the world and start to bring them into the theatre where we're going to have the most work to do.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Monsieur! En avant! Marchez!
'70, 59, 18, 11. 70, 50. Is there a maximum size of those units we can have, or is it just moved?
Oui, Mila! Flotte, prête.
Three turns.
Oui, Milord.
That's a long time.
Oui, oui, monsieur. Officier sur le coup. Oui, monsieur. Oui, votre majesté. Ordre du navire, capitaine. Oui, oui, monsieur. Solidement arrimé, capitaine. Quelle direction, capitaine? Oui, oui, monsieur. Préparez-vous. Prêt pour l'action? Oui, monsieur. Quelle direction, capitaine?
I'm trying to decide whether we pull our armies out of the Americas and send them to Europe, or whether we build net new armies in Europe.
D'autres ordres? Mettez les voiles! Mettez embarquement de la flotte!
That is the general who was who was instrumental in the campaign across India. I think I'm going to send him to Europe. Let's keep sailing this navy. Oh, didn't quite make it. Yeah, we're fighting Austria. We need to wipe them off the map in a single turn. So I'm pulling more troops over to come and assist in doing so. And Russia has a pretty potent navy. So we need to work out how to hurt them in a single turn as well. Because they could wipe out a lot of our economy just by hitting our trade routes.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Mettez les voiles. Mettez-y tout votre cœur. Oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur. À vos ordres. Bien arrivé. Ordre du navire, capitaine.
So just having a quick look across our lands to see if there's anything we can do to improve a little bit more. So we've got 43,000, so that's potentially 4 more large ports. And a small investment in our army. So we've got lots of elite troops being used there.
Vos ordres, votre majesté.
Croissant snacks. I did have a not quite croissant this morning. I had a cheese and bacon pastry this morning. It was lovely.
Prêt à recevoir vos ordres. En route, monsieur. En avant pour la couronne et le pays. Arrivez.
Right, I should have some more ships coming over in a second.
Milord. Monsieur, vos ordres. En avant. Monsieur. Armée, halte. Monsieur. Tous à bord. Nous arrivons, capitaine. Arrivée à destination.
Oh, is that university doing anything for us anymore?
Prêt. En avant pour la couronne et le pays. En avant, marchez.
Oh, it's got to last 5 more turns. We've got some actual war fighting ships here as well that were. Okay. We should have some armies from the Americas hitting next turn. Ready to fight a proper European war. You had a 24-hour blood pressure thing this morning is already annoying. Only 22 hours left. It'll be a long 22 hours.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority.
Okay, we should have a lot of fleets arriving all over the place now.
Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
That's the one we just moved. Well, they're going to take a little while to get around there. And where else are we? So we should now have, here we go, another army to send south.
Miller, troupes, en avant, manœuvre terminée.
That's it, recruit a new general from scratch. Right.
Autre chose? Marchez! Ordres. Monsieur! Oui, capitaine. Tenez-vous prêts! En avant! Marchez! Préparez-vous! Marchez!
Boston's not happy. So next turn we'll do some more recruitment there. Let's just check our ministers to make sure we've got no complete numpties. Probably gonna need two more. Hey, On and Bone Nubaku, I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome over on Twitch. We should probably get to it and start winning, right? We're going to need 4 more turns, though, to be able to bring our army, or our new elite army, to bear.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Préparez-vous. Hissez les gars! Hissez haut! Officier sur le pont! Oui, monsieur. Prêt pour l'action! À vos ordres! Oui, votre majesté. Oui, monsieur. Annoncez des ordres? Des ordres? Oui, votre majesté. Officier sur le pont. Annoncez des ordres? Quelle direction? Annoncez des ordres? Oui, milord. Oui, monsieur. Annoncez des ordres? Officier sur le pont. Oui, oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
Okay, I think that's all of them in. We can afford a bit more construction. What I'm trying to look at. How you see these French flags on the British Isles? The Brits started it, so we finished it.
Rejoins la flotte, général. Tenez-vous prêts. À gauche. Marchez. Oui, monsieur. D'autres ordres.
So we probably need them further around this way. Cannon. There we go. I don't think we've had any more of our navies appear just yet. And we're going to need to finish out our army here as well. So recruitment here.
Autre chose?
Probably have more of an army hitting this side, but what else can we do? So anywhere we can invest our money. I don't think it actually improves repression at all in these areas. just preempting that we're going to lose some ships in this fight. Oh, we got a tea plantation we've not finished upgrading.
Oui, milord. Flotte, prête. C'est des ordres. Tenez-vous prêts.
I think we're in a position we can go to war. Yep. That's the last of our troops coming back, so we do end up in big wars in Europe. The only people we will struggle against are the Spanish and Russians / Poland, Lithuania are going to be troublesome just because they can drop a lot of troops into areas we don't currently have protected, and we're going to have a couple of problems with trade routes being hit if we end up in prolonged wars. So we need to hit them, take everything, and then either get peace or wipe them out. Can the American Revolution happen in this game? Yes, it can. It was prompted early because Great Britain disappeared, the United States appeared, and then France put them down. It's the first of our elite troops coming online. Who else can we recruit? So we can just get 3 large cannon. So this army is made out of nothing but the most elite cavalry, and let's actually spend some money on let's have a look at the ministers again now, for goodness sake. So we're on a bit of a tear on prestige. Alright. That's the last of our ships up, so I think we're now ready to go to war with Austria. For a second time. They're the only nation that survived, and that's only because they became our protectorate. And they've been kind of useful as a protectorate insofar as they have taken territory from one of our allies we couldn't have done ourselves. But we kind of like that territory, so we'll be having it now, please, and thank you.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers. Send missionaries to proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Pensez désordre.
Okay. Time to declare war.
En position. Oui, oui, monsieur. En avant. Oui, votre majesté. Pour la couronne et le pays. Préparez-vous. Voile sortie. Quelle direction, capitaine? Oui, oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
And we'll just sit there and be a pain.
Oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
Okay, so they've all disembarked.
Vos ordres, capitaine.
Oh, goodness sake, really?
Oui, monsieur. Marchez. Sortez la voile. Construction du campement. Vos ordres, votre majesté. D'autres ordres. Troupes. En avant. Tenez-vous prêts. Terminé. Milord. Monsieur. Prêt à recevoir vos ordres. Vos ordres, votre majesté. Tenez-vous prêts. Nous ne pouvons faire cela, monsieur. Serviteur. Construction
Okay.
du campement. Pensez des ordres. Oui, oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur. Oui, oui, monsieur. Oui, oui, monsieur.
So we're going to... Just make sure we've got more ships being built everywhere. One turn away from being able to knock down the university in Graz, I think. Okay, quite a few trade ships built. Quite a lot of money spent on our armies. I want to complete the tech tree before we complete this run. So we're going to have to be a bit faster.
Ma mission? Je suis votre très dévoué.
Okay. The gracious sovereign will no longer be in power in a few moments.
Monsieur, chose? À vos ordres. Milord, prêt à recevoir vos ordres? En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays! Tenez-vous prêt? Votre Majesté? Milord? Marchez! Oui, Milord?
3 there.
Monsieur, votre
2 there.
Majesté? Hommes, en avant! Préparez-vous! Marchez! Préparez-vous! Tenez-vous prêt! Marchez! Pas possible, monsieur. Oui, monsieur. Hommes, en avant! Oui, milord. En attente de vos ordres. À gauche. Prêt à recevoir vos ordres. À vos ordres. Oui, monsieur. À vos ordres. Votre Majesté. Préparez les troupes pour la bataille.
I don't want my allies to help. We're good.
En attente de vos ordres. Donnez le rappel pour la bataille.
Let's have a look at what we're looking at here. Right, they're all slightly out of range, intentionally so. Oh, hang on. I actually wonder whether it... Maybe we do just go for a full frontal assault. I'm intrigued. Kind of want to look at some of our elite troops here. These are our new elite troops. I think they can hide literally anywhere. So what are advantages and abilities? Can hide in scrub, woodland, platoon firing drill, resistance to morale shocks, inspire nearby units, socket bayonets, can adopt square. They are... Let's spread them out through our lines. Most of the other men here are veterans of our many campaigns.
Many infantry units carry grapnels, rope ladders for use during sieges. They can assault walls using them, of course, although this has always been a risky venture. Deploy the grapnels by mousing over a section of wall and right-clicking when the appropriate icon appears.
The first volley of the battle, and we've nearly destroyed the walls of their fort. Second volley we have.
Oh, these walls are very strong. Oh, these walls are very strong. If you want to make a breach, you'll need to concentrate all your artillery fire upon the same point.
Okay, they've moved out some artillery themselves. Alright, let's try something silly. We're going to pull those guys together. These are going to be very vulnerable to cavalry. Hit some of our guards already. Let's walk them forwards. Those shrapnel shots are disgusting. Right, we now have that taken, so now it's just going to be lots of very close quarters fighting. Need to get some groceries. What's the plan for today? Then Northgard at 5. I think it's Northgard at 5. AoE at 7. Ready or not at 9. COD maybe later. I will be ending stream in the none too distant future because I've got some work I have to do during the day today, and then there may be a daytime stream in a little bit. Let's sell the fig furnace and charge the cannon. Let's get it over with. Per 24.90. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. That'll do. A bit wasteful because I was being impatient to try and get the battle done. These guys performed admirably. Line infantry. 183 kills. What? No, that's a problem. And that's a nation destroyed. So the reason that was so important that we just rushed through the nation destruction there is because we were about to be in trouble if they got to survive. Because they had a rather large navy or two sitting in some rather inconvenient areas for us. Whereas by defeating the nation, the navy doesn't go to rogue piracy, which actually might be more interesting. But instead, the navy just disappears. So they had an enormous navy here that could have caused us some serious economic harm. I actually end up having to get rid of this navy because I think it's actually stuck.
Votre Majesté? D'autres ordres? Recevoir vos ordres? Votre Majesté? En avant! Marchez!
Just in case they get any ideas. Anyone want to trade with us? Please and thank you. Poland, Lithuania, Russia and Spain are now all hostile towards us. I mean, so is most of the world, to be fair.
À gauche! Prêt à recevoir vos ordres? Votre Majesté, votre humble serviteur. Vos ordres, Votre Majesté.
Alright, I think we've done okay. We can still, within a turn or two, end the wars. Oh no.
Collecte de ravitaillement. Oui. En avant. Hommes, en avant. Posons le camp.
Wow, on its own, Paris is bringing in 6,000. But our income tax is now 116,200. Our trade income's 88,631. I'm trying to get to the point, which I don't think we're quite going to manage to get to, where our trade income is inconsequential. So you can take all our trade ports all you like, but we've got so much money coming in from tax that you can't actually blockade us to a point that would cause the problem. And we have armies standing by to... let's just remind me later. If Russia misbehaves, we can at least cause some problems for them from a blockade standpoint. But there you go. I think that'll be our last turn for today's game. We should probably... Oh, that's our backup armies just coming in now. I have a feeling war is coming with Russia. Poland and Lithuania joined on our side now. That's interesting. And they're raiding our trade routes. Oh, that's a really unfortunate point to have to stop because that's really interesting. If Poland and Lithuania joined Russia, we would be in real trouble. But as it stands, we're going to get to do things like this. Right, that blockades them. Didn't we have an army around here somewhere? I need to send one lot of infantry running there. I will kick the navy out of the port. Straight into our new navy. I wonder if we can just kick their ass. I was a little bit afraid of that, but I just realised it was all Indiamen, so turns out we can. Right, I have a meeting I have to go to, chat, so we will make sure we save this up, but in the meantime, we'll send you onwards to have an ever more entertaining time elsewhere. Let's see who is streaming at the moment from our community. We'll send you over to... Oh. I'm open to suggestions, actually. Allied Wheat, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. I don't really have anyone to send you to. There's... all of my follow channels aren't online either. I'm really sorry, chat. So what, we'll go raid bloody Drongo. There you go, let's do that. And yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll be back later on with Tactical Tuesday. But for now, I have to go for a meeting. And yeah, thank you so much for coming hang out for a bit of a chilled Empire stream this morning. Until next time, in a few hours' time, bye-bye for now.